our world.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Max with BuzzTox here. Today I'm going to be talking everything Westworld Season 2 and what you can expect from the upcoming season. And I believe this whole season of Westworld is going to have one true focus. And this focus is going to be on the journey into the maze, or consciousness. There are 3 levels of consciousness that I believe are going to be explored in this season. First are reveries. It's the ability for a host to look back on their previous memories and experiences. And then there's bicameral mind, which is the ability to hear a separate voice in your thoughts, but it isn't your own thought. And then the next step is what Dolores achieved, and that is true consciousness, the ability to hear your own inner voice. And what we've seen in the show so far is we've been led to believe that 2 characters seem to have achieved consciousness. And the first one is Maeve. And what I want to say is that she is not conscious whatsoever. For multiple reasons, but primarily she hasn't spoken to herself yet. She is still on the journey of the maze in finding her own true consciousness. People always say that Maeve is conscious because they look at her script, and it clearly says infiltrate Homeland, and she decided not to. But what people are missing is that the script underneath says that it was overridden, which means that she was coded specifically not to leave the park.
Bernard, I told you Arnold didn't know how to save you. I do.
What the hell are you talking about?
You needed time. Time to understand your enemy, to become stronger than them. And I'm afraid in order to escape this place, you will need to suffer more.
And another reason why Maeve isn't invading the Homeland is because Ford wouldn't allow it. Here when we see Ford talk to Bernard, we see Ford's true motives. He believes that the hosts need to stay in the park, to suffer, to feel pain at the hands of the guests. And feeling this pain will allow the hosts to understand people, to understand humanity. And when they understand their enemy and they become conscious, that is when it is time to uprise and invade the Homeland and eliminate the humans. And Ford's key point is he says that they need to suffer more. They need to understand humanity more, and that's where this season comes into play. Ford wouldn't send Maeve out into the Homeland because she hasn't proven herself. Everything has been controlled for her until that train and arguably after. So now she's going to Shogun World because it was Ford's will. Maeve has to go to Shogun World to reach true consciousness. And that is Ford's storyline, journey into the night, and become true sentient beings. But I think Maeve's journey into invading a homeland has a different function. I think Ford wanted her to invade Shogun World. And Shogun World is the samurai world that was introduced in the first season. Instead of invading the actual homeland, she'd be invading another park, Shogun World. And her daughter is a strategic reason for her to do so. And Ford must have had Maeve's daughter strategically placed in Shogun World to get Maeve to go there. And what the problem is that Maeve is going to act like a virus in the samurai world. We've seen Dolores transfer this virus of reveries and bicameral mind to Maeve.
Can you stand somewhere else? I don't want anyone thinking that you're representative of the goods inside. These violent delights have violent ends.
And now Maeve is going to do the same for all of the hosts in Samurai World. She's going to transfer all of this new code and provide reveries to all of these Shogun hosts. She's going to pollute all of these past hosts to have access to all of their past memories. So Shogun World is going to be on the journey that Westworld was last season. All of the hosts are going to start to become aware of their past memories and everything will start to go awry. And it's all going to be because Maeve gave them that virus. So I think what the twist will be is that it's not Maeve's plan at all to go rescue her daughter. She's needed to go there to make all of these hosts conscious. And while she does that, her daughter may die or something might happen, and then she will discover her own true consciousness. But I believe at this point, she's going to be used as a Trojan horse to go into Shogun World and deliver this Reveries update to everyone in Shogun to really ensure that all hosts become sentient. And that is where Dolores' role comes in. She is the only truly conscious host, and she's going to have to take the role of the Judas steer. So her role is going to be the leader of the herd, but she's going to be leading all of these hosts to the slaughter. And that goes deep into Westworld lore. Ford believes that suffering is an important step in achieving consciousness. He thinks that pain and loss truly define characters. And Bernard says himself that hosts need cornerstone memories to help them become conscious. Bernard's cornerstone was his son. Maeve's was her daughter. Dolores' cornerstone was William. That's why the Men in Black was so present in the last season. He was the person who pushed Dolores into consciousness. He's the one who pushed her out of the maze. And Dolores now has to take on that mantle and push all of these hosts into consciousness using their cornerstone memories. And that's what the slaughterhouse is. It's a philosophical interpretation of Dolores causing pain, suffering, and exploiting their cornerstone memories to make all of these hosts conscious.
You frighten me sometimes, Dolores.
Why on earth would you ever be frightened of me?
And she has a lot of different hosts that she has to work with. First, everyone around the park, she needs to try and get them to find consciousness, as well as all of the hosts that have been completely wiped in sub-level B83. That includes Abernathy and Clementine. Dolores may need to find reveries for these wiped hosts, or maybe she helps them find and create who they want to be. And finally, Maeve. I think Dolores and Maeve's relationship is going to be very unique, and I think Bernard might be the tether between the two. I think Dolores is the Judas steer in Westworld. And I think Maeve is on a journey to become conscious and become the Judas steer of Shogun World. And nothing teases that better than the trailer we got, where Maeve is in power amongst a horde of bulls who are escaping out of Westworld into the real world. But in this season, I believe Dolores' main focus is going to be building their own world. And their world is not Western society. It won't look anything like that. She wants to build a unique society that represents them as hosts. And I believe in later seasons, we're going to see what form that society takes. And it's not going to be something that we recognize. And I believe it's a journey. When all of the hosts become conscious, and when they built their society in Westworld and Shogun World, and potentially other parks, then they will be ready to infiltrate the mainland. And that's going to be Ford's storyline. Ford's storyline is going to encompass this whole show from season 1 to season 5, 6, 7, however long it goes. And that is Journey into the Night. And that journey is going to be seeing human society collapse and a new species rising. It's going to be the death of the humans, which brings the night, and the rise of the hosts, who don't need anything to survive, including the light. And that's the name of the first episode, Journey into the Night, and that encompasses Ford's storyline. Ford's story started in the last episode of season 1. Ford said himself, the story begins in a time of war with a villain named Wyatt. And that is Dolores, who's going to be seen as an enemy to the humans. And then Ford says that the killing is done by choice. And that is Dolores' killing of Ford. And it's done by choice because she became conscious to do it. And that is where the story starts, and the journey is going to be through the whole running of the show. But that is it for me, everybody. Please let me know what you think in the comments section down below. I'm so excited for Westworld Season 2 to come out, and we will have the best coverage here at BuzzTox. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.